Unfair treatment levied against the Grand Lucayan Resort. Health officials giving an update on operations within the GB Health Services. And opening statements in the Barry and Sheena Johnson murder trial.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, the Commonwealth Union of Hotel Services and Allied Workers is taking the Grand Lucayan Resort to task for what union officials say is unfair treatment of the line staff. At the center of the controversy this time is the gratuity payment system. Sabrina Brown has the details.
It is sad because what they're doing to our people. I work there. It is sad. We work too hard.
President of the Commonwealth Union of Hotel Services and Allied Workers, Michelle Dorset, became very emotional as she alleged that line staff at the Grand Lucayan Resort are being cheated out of their gratuity pay. Dorset says the union has been appealing to management for the past 2 years to release documents that show the correct amount of gratuity being paid by guests on a daily basis, but that has not happened.
We clearly asking for the backup sheets. So we got enough is enough. We have 2 sets of guests what comes on the property. The EP guest is the regular guest, we pay 15%. Then we have the all-inclusive guests, which they pay a full package, which in their package varies for different packages, different prices. The company is not complying for 2 years, the documents that we asking for. The maids are going home with just $60, $20, $40. Persons in the back of the house. This is my pay stub. Going home, working 4 days, $27. No accountability, no trace to say whatsoever going on. Also, they have 1-day passes coming in. Servers are not getting paid the 1-day pass. Okay? When they wake up the check, it's zero on the check. A lot of skullduggery is going on that property.
The union leader says workers have had enough, and she's calling on the Minister of Labor to intervene.
We last week sent a communication to the Minister of Labor to do a complete investigation at the Grand Lucayan on the status of the gratuities for the past 2 years for them to investigate this matter. I, the president of the union, sent all of the communications electronically to the minister and the director of Grand Bahama.
Other executives of the union are expressing concern over what they call a troubling situation.
We all here know that you deserve what you're supposed to get because I see myself that y'all works very hard. Understand? So we're going to stand for y'all until the end.
They aren't getting anything. They're working like 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, or whatever. When they get their check, like Madam said, it is only zero balance when they go to the bank.
We can't even pay a bill. We even can't put something on a bill. You know, and this is status. This is real.
I just want to encourage the people today to put their trust in God, to know that God is going to fight the battle for us.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Now, ZNS News contacted management at the Grand Lucayan Resort for a comment on the matter, but we were unsuccessful. We also contacted the Minister of Labor, Senator the Honorable Dion Folks, who said the union's claims regarding the gratuity for line staff are being addressed.
I received a complaint by letter sometime about a week ago from the President, Mrs. Michelle Dorset, alleging certain irregularities with respect to the distribution of gratuities. I've asked the office in Grand Bahama in Freeport, headed by Mr. Tyrone Gibson, our Deputy Director, to conduct an investigation. I think at this point we're awaiting a full report from the hotel with respect to the matter. As soon as I have all of the facts, I will make a public statement. But it is something that we are treating as a matter of urgency. Whenever workers make an allegation that their benefits are not being forthcoming, that is something that we look into immediately.
Minister Folks also spoke to the issue of temporary workers at the Grand Lucayan Resort who remained in that status for more than 8 years.
matter that was raised in a meeting that I had with them over a month ago. As you know, the hotel is currently in the process of being sold. That process is almost completed, and there are going to be some new owners that are going to take over the hotel. Of course, any industrial agreement that is signed by the existing owner has to be recognized by any new owners. So that is something that we intend to take up with the new owners. The government is optimistic that the sale is imminent, and that we're very positive about it.
A top health official addressing some of the critical issues impacting the healthcare on Grand Bahama and the challenges at the island's premier healthcare facility are among them. Sheena reports.
Administrator for the Rand Memorial Hospital, Sharon Williams, says they are continuing to do their best to provide effective and quality care for the community. One concern many residents on Grand Bahama have when it comes to the facility is insufficient beds. But Williams adds that additional beds is not their primary problem.
It is not so much not enough bed as the space for beds. We have outgrown this facility, and we're working with the Ministry of Health and the Public Hospitals Authority, as you can see, to improve the space within our facilities. We're completing the dietary services, the food services project, and once we relocate the food service department from that central ward area, then we will use that space that's vacated for additional wards, additional bed space.
And that, she says, should soon happen.
We're looking at those projects completed based on our resources that's provided to us within the next 4 to 5 months, once we get those resources mobilized.
Williams says that they are continuing to expand in the outpatient area.
As you would recognize, we would have mentioned some months ago about the number of patients being seen in our emergency room that can be seen on an outpatient basis. We would have then created a evening clinic to allow some of those clients to be able to be seen in the evening, and that is a clinic that happens from 4 to 10 p.m. in the evening.
Overall, the hospital administrator says that notwithstanding some challenges, they are pleased with the operation of the Rand Memorial Hospital.
We are pleased that we are improving as we go. We make some adjustment, look to see the effect it has on patient care, and that is the quality of patient care as well as the wait time, and then we make adjustments based on what we're seeing. Like we said, we're ready to move to the next phase now to expand. At the facility that we will be moving to, we will be able to see even more of our clients.
Sheena Farquharson, ZNS Network News.
The defense opening its case in the Barry and Sheena Johnson murder trial in the Supreme Court this morning. Attorney Jeffrey Farquharson was the first to make his opening statement. Italia Hall has the details.
Counsel for defendant Paul Belazaire, attorney Jeffrey Farquharson, opening the case for the defense, telling the court that the case should not be allowed to go any further because he believes the prosecution has not presented any evidence to show where the plan was to steal the victim's truck and keys. Farquharson noting that the only evidence that the prosecution has been able to present in 7 months was a statement with his client Paul Belazaire stating that he jumped in a truck rather than to be left with 2 dead bodies, saying the only reason why anyone pulled off in the truck is because shots were fired. He then shifted his topic to laws in the Bahamas, charging that there is no law in the Bahamas that states that people can be concerned to gather to do something. He says an attempt to steal or rob is not a crime as well. Attorney Farquharson telling the jury that no matter what they've heard about the defendants, no matter how they feel about them, they deserve the best that justice can offer. Justice Estelle Gray Evans then intervened and asked Farquharson if he had started his opening statement. He replied yes, and then asked Justice Estelle Gray Evans if she would like him to stop. but Justice Evans said no. Attorney Farquharson then told Justice Evans that he was just checking because she loves to interfere with him and that she is leading members of the jury to think that he does not know what he's doing. At that point, attorney for Kevin Dames, Carlson Sherlin, stood up, noting that he had some concerns. Sherlin said the law comes from the bench, and while he is not trying to undermine Attorney Farquharson, he believes Attorney Farquharson should have some respect. Attorney Farquharson responded by saying, "Okay, Judas, I love you too. Do you want to come and kiss me?" Farquharson then claimed that there's been a lot of complications and deceit practiced in the court. Now the trial is expected to resume on Monday, April 16th at 11 a.m. Paul Belizaire, Devon Hall, and Kevin Dames are all accused of 2 counts of murder, 1 count of armed robbery, and robbing the victims of their car keys and GMC truck valued at over $8,000. The Johnsons were shot and killed at their home back in September of 2015. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Now, as we continue our youth and crime series, tonight we hear from a well-known youth leader who's concerned about youth crimes and gang activity has led him to dedicate his life to working with young men. He believes positive efforts today can help to save a generation. Kimberly Mullings has the story.
Men from throughout the Bahamas are doing what it takes to save young men across the nation, so much so that they are joining forces. Founder of the Falcons Boys Club in Grand Bahama, Darren Roll, says they are putting their heads together to determine what is going wrong within various communities of Grand Bahama and to prevent crimes from happening.
Only myself and Carlos Reed, we've always been working together, whether that's just letting each other know what's going on or actually physically getting involved. I think it's very important that we be able to get together and be able to figure out exactly how we are going to be able to solve what's going on in this community. And like Dr. Carlos Reed said, it's going to take the community to solve the crime.
The trio has made it their business to get involved with the community through their organizations. He says that he will be partnering with various principals and schools around the Bahamas, doing what God has called him to do.
I am unashamed to say that I do this because I realize the importance of being able to let these young men know that without God being in their life, that these issues that they're going to face, they're not going to have anybody who's going to be able to help them solve it. So that's why we go around the Bahamas and hosting our one-day conference, Building Youth is Better Than Mending Men, where last year we were able to go on 5 different islands.
He has no problem admitting that he stands on the shoulders of many great men from Grand Bahama.
We know no man is an island, and you got to be able to encourage persons who are actually doing it or persons who are not doing it to see the value of being able to really make that investment. We're thankful to God for the opportunity to see what Moan McPhee has taught me as a little boy, and what Derek D. Isaac has taught me, what Wayne Smith has taught me, and what Softly Rubens has taught me, what Mark Payne has taught me, and I mean the list goes on and on of men who have actually taken the opportunity to be able to pour into my personal life. To now we've been able to on a Saturday invest time into even Mr. Gordon, your cameraman.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues in just a moment.